Nani? And again, before my eyes, like an endless carpet, the road surrounded by woods and fields goes ever on. The bus is going somewhere, leaving behind everything I knew, loved, and hated. An unfamiliar girl is leaning over me and gently whispering something in my ear. I'm actually interested in what she's saying. But I can't hear her. I'm just watching everything from the side and can see everything except her face. And hear everything except her words. And feel everything except my own life. I woke up feeling like I was suffocating and began critically sucking in air. My breath soon went back to normal and an intolerable thirst came upon me. But what was the dream all about? And who was that girl? These questions again. Maybe I've already died and gone to hell. Can a human being feel that his life is over, is now over, and that that he can just move on to the next stage of existence? My head was about to explode due to such cosmic thoughts. What did I do to deserve this? I'm just an ordinary guy, not a philosopher, not a theologist, not a scientist. And I don't want to understand the substance of things, the way of the universe. I'm not asking for any more than just to live my life peacefully and then doze off into an eternal sleep and everything is over. But no, I'm just trapped here. Tears of frustration welled in my eyes. And why is it always like this? I started to think that if I give it any more thought, I would either understand the substance of all things or go insane for good. Ultimately, it all started with a bus I got in, went to sleep, and there was a girl. Perhaps one of the local pioneers, maybe even a cat-eared one. Well, why not? I can't rule a single idea out. So I'm here now. My thoughts stopped, tumbleweed rolled back and forth in my brain, bouncing around the organ which kept my ears from falling off. And that's all. Now I'm here, in hell, heaven, purgatory, or whatever. Looks like I'm going to spend the rest of eternity in this place. For some reason, I fixated on this exact theory. It's strange that I didn't care about the fact that a spiritual being doesn't have basic human senses, sight, hearing, touch. All in all, at first glance, there was nothing different about me from my condition a week ago. Well, except for being a couple of years younger. Then what's so bad about what happened? I might even consider this a second chance. After all, it's not that hard to get a job. I could rent a room in a hostel. I'm 17 now, I'm still healthy, my brain is in an excellent state, my energy is at its peak. I might try to achieve something. But what had prevented me from doing so before? Was I really that old back then? I jammed like an old rifle, and without outside help I wouldn't have escaped the cycle of self-reflection. Fortunately, Lena soon appeared by the camp leader's cabin. Hi. I raised my eyes reluctantly and stared through her for a few seconds. Hello. She stopped looking away and blushed. Well, never mind. May I have a seat? Sure. Ich habe immer so das Gefühl, Lena hat irgendwie eine besondere Position in diesem Spiel. Ich weiß auch nicht genau warum, aber der Fakt, dass sie einfach mal die umfangreichste Route hat und fast auch in jeder Route auftaucht und eine gewisse Position hat. Ja. Schon sehr interessant. Lena perched herself on the edge of the deck chair. What are you thinking about? Trying to understand the laws of this world. And how's it going? She asked seriously. Not too good. Perhaps they are beyond human comprehension. Then maybe I shouldn't bother. But what should I do? I just have to. Why? And really, why? Does it happen to me... Does it happen to be some vital urgency? Vital urgency? I didn't really bother thinking about things like that in the past and lived in a relative peace. And what has changed so drastically now? I won't think about it now either and will be living in somewhat different conditions, but what's wrong with that? If there's no choice. I don't know. It seems that nothing is up to me. It looked like Lena wanted to say something, but she didn't. And you probably came to see Olga. Yes. I mean, no. But, to be honest, what is it? Sometimes I feel that way too. What do you mean? That nothing is up to me? I looked at I looked at her attentively. She was sitting with downcast eyes, nervously toying with a handful of field flowers. They were yellow like the fervent rays of the summer sun. Well, you know... Hallo, wer schreibt mich denn hier an? Ist etwas Wichtiges passiert? Oh. Jesus. Das ist halt das, wenn ich mittags aufnehme, dann ist hier großer Datenverkehr. So. Well, you know, these flowers, for instance, they were growing just for the sake of it, and then I ripped them out of the ground, and that's all. Bist du jetzt sentimental über Blumen? She was literally about to start crying. It didn't really fit my pictures of Lena. Well, yeah. To be honest, I really don't know what to say. Well, so are we. We are ripped out, and then... She got up abruptly and rushed in the direction of the square without saying goodbye. What the fuck, dude? Indeed, Lena, like all the other pioneers, seemed to be real. Not a figment of my imagination, not a doll, not an NPC. A few hours ago I was sure that I am the only one who exists here. And possibly that cat-eared girl. I wish I could find her. I'm in a state of something like spiritual deprivation. All my senses are working properly, but I still have a painful need to know why. Why I am here. As if the need for identity, to find my place in this world, to determine its nature, laws and mechanics had become vital, just like the need for food and rest. It is probably the worst punishment for a human, to have the desire to understand something but not the ability, to wish to change something but to not have the opportunity, to strive for something but to be unable to achieve it. I've never seriously thought before, why am I in this world? In the world, how much time will I spend here? What do I have to do, and what will come next? Now, after encountering this other world, I have nothing left but to think about these. I guess that if it is possible to escape from here, I will return to my quiet life where I don't have such troubles. But I won't return. It's so hard to face a task with which cannot be completed. If I could choose my fate, I would never quit to this bus, this camp, these girls. I would stay there, in my apartment, in front of the monitor. You can't demand anything more from a person than he can do. It's better to spend the rest of your life working in the mind than trying to understand something that just won't fit in your head. After all, there's no other way. Of course, it is possible to make a valiant effort to try not to think, to try to accept this reality and start a new life. But it's not part of human nature to neglect everything that happens around you. If I was accused of a crime which I had not committed, of course I would try to resist, to prove my innocence. No one would agree to live in jail instead of at home, whatever their home is like. And now it's me who was thrown from the world I used into this jail. Although though it is boundless, though there are no walls or bars on the windows, it is a jail. I did not ask for this, and my only desire for now is to return back home. And the only key out of here is hung just a bit higher than I can reach with a jump. And there's nothing helpful around, no chair, no stool, not even a small stone that could be put under my feet. And no one to help me. Just a few centimeters separating me from freedom, from realizing everything. Maybe it's impossible to return back home, but at least I'll be able to escape from this jail. This is exactly what I've wanted for the last 5 days. Puh, ziemlich textlastig diese Route. Auch ziemlich philosophisch. Und jetzt ist Nacht. Night slowly descended onto the camp. Dinner went by without me, and the camp leader stopped several times by the deck chair trying to tell me something. But I was already in another world. The world of my cage with a key bound by a guardian knot to Ariaden's thread. Oh. It was not long before the light in the cabin was turned off and the crickets started their lamentable whining all around. Somewhere in the distance an owlet was hooting at a speed of 37 hoots per minute. "37 hoots per minute." Oh Mann, Alter. Wer zählt denn? Wer zählt denn, wie oft eine Eule, ja, wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Wie oft eine Eule tut, was weiß denn ich? 37 Hoots per Minute. Ich reg mich nicht mehr. Das ist auch eine ganz schön schnelle Eule. Die ist wohl notgeil, huh? I was sitting and rhythmically knocking, trying to accompany him. Suddenly bushes rustled around me, and a squirrel with a nut in its teeth climbed on a tree. It must be hurrying to meet its family. The summer night's charm was as rich as always, but it didn't affect me in any way at all. The mechanisms of my brain problem was so 37 hoots per minute. Oh Mann, Alter. Die ganze Zeit ist es so ernst und da kommt so ein Scheißsatz zwischendrin. Ich kann nicht mehr. The mechanisms of my brain and probably my soul were in need of serious maintenance. Not just a slapdash repair of the bodywork and a new paint job. What is life at this point? I decided to take a walk. Because thinking about it, I've been sitting on this deck chair for almost the whole day. I even took a small nap. Everyone in the camp was tired, the camp was sleeping. Der läuft einfach mal überall rum. Aber genauso hier und bin ich auch. The walk between pioneer cabins, the square with the statue of Gender, the forest path, all that was changing like pictures in a kid's book. The whole world looked like a picture too. And that is not what I was thinking just yesterday. And the reason for that was a strange girl with animal ears. A cat girl, though she could just as likely be another animal. It was like there's a defense mechanism that activated just after I appeared here, which didn't let me look for answers or get a hold of the situation. There were always more important things, such as the missing lineups, getting a comfortable seat during lunch, or sneaking away from the camp leader. Anything other than thinking about why am I here and how can I get out. Anything. I sat on a stump and closed my eyes. A million images appeared in my brain at once, and among them was a road, a bus, and that girl. Yes, the girl with animal ears. It was her who 37 hoots per minute. It was her who was in the bus. Ah. I quickly opened my eyes and saw her in front of me. At first it looked like a dream or hallucination, but a sudden gust of wind brought me back to reality. Oh. Was macht die da? Zupft die etwa ein Haar von dem Pilz? The strange girl was sitting and sprinkling sugar on a mushroom. Was? Will die süßen Pilze essen oder was? They grow better this way, she said with a serious face. Who? I uttered with difficulty. The mushrooms. Who else? Mushrooms? Yes, mushrooms. Why do you need these mushrooms? To eat, of course. Why else would you need mushrooms? The girl pouted. I just didn't know how to start a conversation with her, because I was sure that the thing which looked like a strange girl with animal ears had brought me here, and making friends with a higher being wouldn't do much good. Do you have more sugar? She asked suddenly. I don't know. No. Why do you need it? What do you mean, why? I told you, for the mushrooms. They grow better that way. Despite everything, the girl looked totally normal. Of course, you don't often see a human with animal ears and a tail, and they actually looked real. But apart from that, I can bring some. I don't know why I said it, but maybe I just wanted to earn her trust. As long as mind reading wasn't one of her abilities. That's alright, no need, there's enough. Good. And? What? Why did you come? What does she mean? Come to this place or come to this camp? Or into this life? My head was about to explode from existential thoughts. Just a little bit more, and everything would become crystal clear. No, the answers and understanding didn't appear from thin air. The safety device just cut in. Caution, doors are closing. No more people will fit in the train. The next stop is... The train was gone, and I stayed on the platform without my luggage, wearing a light jacket in the minus 20 degrees Celsius frost. I was just having a walk. The words echoed hollowly in my head. I felt like a Viking from the Middle Ages who stands alone against 100 enemies. No doubts, no regrets, only an iron will to die hard. I see. The girl answered without much interest and went back to her work. It was you, back there in the bus. Me, she replied lazily without tearing herself away from the mushrooms. Wer schreibt denn hier? Was ist denn da los? Was ist diese? Ich habe keine Ahnung. Why did you bring me here? I didn't bring you. Then who? I don't know. But were you in the bus? I was. And? What? Yelling at her was dangerous, but I couldn't I couldn't help it. What? Answer me! Did you ask something? It looks like the conversation doesn't bother her at all. Who are you? She looked at me in surprise. I am me. Okay. Where are you from? I don't know. I've always been here. What do you mean, always? You must have come from somewhere, no? You must have come from somewhere, no? I don't know. I doubted for a moment that this was an omnipotent being before me. Of course, this girl is a little extraordinary, to be precise, absolutely extraordinary. And she was with me in the bus then, but maybe she has nothing to do with my arrival here. Anything is possible. What do you know? I know how to make supplies for winter. She smiled with sweetness and ease. What supplies? Well, you know, for the winter. It could get cold. I have never seen the local windows though. How come you've never seen them, if you've always been here? I don't know. She looked at me intently. Anyway, you're boring as hell. Me? Yes, you. How do I bore you? You stupid questions. Stupid? Well, I was tracked out of my usual world, brought here, and now my questions are stupid? Yes, she calmly replied. So what questions would consider it not stupid? Where one can get sugar, for example. In the canteen, where else? Plenty for you to steal. You're well known for doing that, I've heard. I do not steal. The animal-eared girl was outraged. I'm borrowing it. It comes back anyway. Comes back or not. I don't care. I want to understand how and why am I here. I want to go back. I'm not interested in that. The girl stood up and shook herself. But I'm interested. If you're not the one to blame for everything, then you must know the answers. Someone should know them after all. She looked at me intently and laughed. You're funny. I completely lost my temper. Stop mocking me. I'm fed up with you. Why me exactly? How am I worse than anyone else? I never asked for anything as fun as all this. Leave me alone. I didn't bother anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. What did I ever do to you? Get lost. Let me live in peace. My whole body shivered. The blood pounded in my head like a cannon. Everything went dark before my eyes. Have you blown off all your steam? She asked quietly. I was about to smash her. Smash heißt doch etwas anderes. At least I'll check if she's flesh and blood. Alright, let's go. Where? You'll see. The girl gestured me to follow her and went into the depths of the forest. After some time, I started to suspect that we were walking in circles. Finally, I decided to check out and put a candy wrapper in a noticeable spot. Indeed, we soon passed it again. Wait. I didn't dare to grab her hand, so I tried to stop her verbally. What? Where are you taking me? I said that, you'll see. But we're walking in circles. Ah, sie greift an! So what? What do you mean, so what? You won't get anywhere by walking in circles. But you said it yourself, that you were just having a walk. The girl seemed strange, illogical, even arrogant, as if she takes pleasure in mocking me. I'm not moving an inch until you explain what is going on. Okay. She stopped and leaned back again against a large tree. I was just bored. It's the same old stuff all the time. But recently lots of new stuff happened and now what? Now I can talk to you. She smiled. And you couldn't do it before? Well, I certainly could. Maybe. So what happened? I don't know. Then why do you think that something has happened in the first place? I've got a feeling. A feeling, eh? I give a helpless sigh. Maybe she's just a lunatic that escaped a local asylum and not an omnipotent being. Come on, let's get serious. Okay, fine. The girl looked at me intently. Who are you and what's happening here? I don't know. She answered with the same expression on her face. And who knows? I don't know. Alright, I'm going to sleep. I had no strength to talk about it, to listen to her nonsense, to walk in circles in the forest. Even if she knows the answers and she can return me to the usual world and all, not today. Just enough for today. If I stay here one more second, there won't be anyone left to return. Good night, the girl said nicely. That's all? What else do you want? You're going to sleep. She's right. Okay, do you at least have a name? Name? Yes, a name. I don't know. And who knows? I don't know. Okay, what should I call you then? I don't know. But a person, every single thing in the world should have a name. There's no other way. She looked at me uncomprehendingly. Alright then, you will be Yulva. Yulva? I don't know why I chose that name. Maybe it was just the first thing that came to my mind. Fine. She smiled merrily. And now I have to go. The girl flicked her ears and disappeared into the forest. I slowly dragged my feet back to the camp. Now it looked like I was in some sort of tragic comedy. The higher beings cannot be idiots with the developmental level of a kindergartner, can they? Though it is possible they don't perceive the world the same way we do. I was exhausted. I couldn't fully comprehend everything that had happened to me recently. The answers could be right before me. I just need to stretch out my arm. It could be that saving stool which would help me to reach the key. And how could I be so calm in such a situation? Maybe I'm just tired. That tired. Ugh! Big Booty Judy! Olga waited for me on the doorstep of her cabin. At last! And where were you wandering in the dead of night? I looked out at the camp leader. Ooh! I wonder, is she real? I don't have a single doubt about that girl, Yulva. She may not be human, but she exists. And what about Olga? The other pioneers? You know, I saw that cat girl. Sure, of course. She chuckled. Well, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. I don't want to and I don't believe you. It's your choice. I said in a tired voice, pushed my way into the cabin. Semyon, tomorrow... I didn't hear the rest of her words. There was only one thing to understand, whether anything is up to me or not. Should I keep desperately reaching for that key, or is that cat girl the answer I've been looking for? Maybe the only thing left to do is to understand. No one ever said that clue will be written straightforwardly in your own language. Though maybe I always knew those answers and I just had to comprehend their meaning. What if everything is not real and I'm just dreaming? What if I just imagine everything about finding the answers, about understanding them? Maybe there's no cage, no jail, and the key has already been hung up from the burned out lamp in my room, which has turned into a pioneer camp, inhabited by unreal but very alive people, who seem to understandable and so precious. Well, no. I'm not a wizard, not an oracle, not a god. Voltaire once said, "Illusion is the first of all pleasures." Maybe my most successful skill was my illusions. Lines of thoughts connected one by one, ready to keep it going until morning. But the safety device worked again and unplugged the whole system instead of reformatting my brain like last time.